Good morning and welcome to the 2024 U.S. Women's Open presented by Ally, joined here by Brooke Henderson. Brooke, you were here in 2015, 9 years ago already. What are some of your memories from that week? You finished top 5.
Yeah, that was an incredible week for me to finish top 5. I was just trying to get my tour card at that point, so anytime I was able to play on such a big stage and such an important event as this, it was really exciting for me. And I played really well on the weekend, climbed up a lot of spots, and to get that T5 was really special. And I've been trying to think over the holes the last few months, and it's such a beautiful golf course and it's in perfect condition. So I'm just really excited to be back here and to feel the atmosphere of a major championship.
We hear the players just give overwhelming praise about this golf course. What is it that kind of makes it a true U.S. Open test?
It is a challenge for sure. It tests everything, and that's exactly what you want at a U.S. Women's Open. And I think you can be scared coming into this week for sure because it is such a tough golf course. But I think just looking forward to the challenge. And this course, it demands not only strategy but also execution. Like, you have to hit really good shots. So I think it's a great balance between the two. You can't just bomb it around. You really got to think your way around. So I think it'll be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to teeing it up on Thursday.
We're going to open it up to questions. Beth Ann?
Is this on? Yeah, Brooke, you're used to big crowds in Canada, but what do you remember about the atmosphere in Lancaster in 2015?
Yeah, these were some of the biggest crowds that I've ever played in front of. I just remember there being so much energy and so many people, and it was so much fun to play in front of. And so when I knew we were coming back to this golf course, I was really excited for that atmosphere, that energy, and to get to play in front of huge crowds.
You've had several third-place finishes this season. How would you sum up the year so far?
Yeah, it's been a really good year. It's to get those top finishes, a lot of top 10s, a couple top 3s, which is really exciting. And I feel like my game is trending in the right direction. I had a little bit of a setback a couple weeks ago at the New Jersey events, but the game's right there. I just need a couple things to kind of turn it over, but I'm really excited about how this year has gone so far, and I'm really looking forward to the rest of the summer because I feel like I'm right there.
We're going to go Jack and then Mike.
Hey, Brooke. Obviously, you've been here before. Does the golf course feel any different with some of the changes? And then second question is, what's the most interesting hole out here and why?
Oh, well, 18 is very interesting because it's very long and it's a finishing hole. So it makes it really fun. You can see the big grandstands when you tee off, and it's going to be filled with people at the end of the week. So I feel like that hole is maybe just the most interesting because it's the 72nd hole, it's the 18th hole, it's where you got to finish strong, and it's a tough hole. But I think every hole out here, they're all a little different from each other. Their style of how you have to play them is slightly different, and I think that's really cool about this place is you got to know where the slopes are, you got to be able to hit all kinds of different shots. And I think just coming out here yesterday and then again today, just trying to relearn the golf course and know where I have to be.
And the first question, does the golf course feel any different with some of the changes they made a couple years ago?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of some of those changes right now. That's kind of like where the relearning comes in, trying to figure it out. But I think I just remember it being so grand and beautiful and a challenge, and that's exactly what it is right now.
Mike?
Hi, Brooke. We hear that this is a fader's golf course, and you're a fader,
Yeah.
right? Driver, anyway, and most of your colleagues are not faders. And you played so well 9 years ago. I mean, putting all this together, do you feel like you're particularly well suited to this place?
Well, I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. I hope so. I hope it pans out. But, I think, maybe the fade does, give a little bit of advantage on a few holes, which is nice. But I think, you're going to have to hit a lot of different shots. And especially if you get into trouble, the rough's very thick, getting thicker. There's certain places where you can and can't miss. And if you're in those places, you're going to have to hit really great recovery shots. So I think you're going to need, every shot in the bag. And, the most important one, like any U.S. Women's Open, is the mental side of things. You're going to have to stand strong and be tough and be gritty.
We're going to go Todd and then Doug.
Hi, Brooke. You mentioned 9 years ago you were just trying to get your tour card and getting out here. A lot of things have changed since then, the course being one of them a little bit. The purse $12 million. The game itself, there's not a lot of returning players in this year's field compared to 9 years ago. Where do you feel the game has gone in 9 years as the women's professional game? And to play for $12 million this week's got to be exciting. Talk
Yeah,
about
very exciting. You know, the game is just continuing to grow, and it's a really fun time to be a part of the tour because you're seeing so much growth over those 9 years. I've seen so many things increase: purses, better venues, you know, more coverage, more media, more fans, which is really exciting. And you know, I think the players are getting better and stronger as well. So you know, for me, it's just been really fun, and I hope it continues to grow and just continue to get better.
Do you see areas it hasn't grown?
The areas it hasn't grown?
Yeah.
I mean, I think we can always do better, but I think we've made big gains in all areas. But I think, you know, we can always do better.
Nice negative question to start with, I realize. I was going to ask you about Nelly and the run she's on, but I think what I really want to ask is do you think players ever get tired of talking about Nelly or Annika or the way they did Tiger or Scotty now in golf? Or does it wear on you to be asked about one player all the time? Or do you see that as being beneficial to helping the overall picture?
Yeah, you know, I think at certain times throughout careers, certain players, you know, really take off and they get on a run. Like Lydia was on a huge run for a long time. Jin Young a couple years ago was winning a lot. May won 3 in a row a few years back. So there's different times throughout a career where the players kind of get on a run and they're talked about a lot and there's a lot of attention and they're doing a lot of good for the game. So I don't think we get tired of it. We're just trying to grow the game and be better ourselves, and just try to, you know, use every day as a stepping stone to make the tour better, make yourself better, and just, you know, grow the game.
What other player in your career have you been asked about the most?
Probably Lydia, just because we're the same age and she was ahead of me, but we kind of grew up at the same time and have been out here for a long time. And, you know, she's had a phenomenal career and very close to the Hall of Fame. So it's very exciting for her, and I really look up to her, so it's easy to talk about her. No, I don't think so.
Back Todd and then Beth Ann. Do we have... Oh, Eamon. Oh, sorry, Steve. Steve?
Oh, I'm sorry. Brooke, every one of your victories have been double-digit under par. NG won here at 8. Do you feel better suited at a golf course that is more difficult, where an 8 under is a fantastic score, or would you rather play one that's 21 under?
I mean, I like when it's tough. I feel like I've always played generally pretty well at major championships because it is really tough, and you have to be able to grind it out and realize that pars are good. Pars are your friends. When you can get birdies, you better capitalize, and you know, just trying to, you know, make the most out of each day. So Holly was the only one, the KPMG Women's PGA, that I was -6 for that victory. So that course played extremely tough, as this one will. So hopefully I can lean on a little bit of that knowledge and play well and be gritty.
Amy?
Looking at what Nelly has done this season, is it more of an inspiration or a frustration for you? Do you feel at times like you're just playing for second, or what's the mindset?
I don't think so. I mean, I feel like I've been very close all year, and she's been able to turn it over on all those weeks. She hasn't necessarily been out front at the start of the week on all of those victories. She's just kind of found a way to get it done, which is really, very impressive. I think, you know, for me personally, I've been right there. I've been trending in the right direction for a while now, which is really exciting for me. And, you know, I think every week I'm just trying to be my best and try to make small improvements for me. And if I can be near the top of the leaderboard come this weekend, I'll be very excited about that. But just trying to make small progress. And I think, you know, for Nelly, it's been an amazing run and definitely inspiring and definitely something to look up to and try to learn from as well.
Given what happened last week on the PGA Tour with Grayson Murray, I'm curious what you do to take care of your own mental health, or how much of a priority that is for you week to week.
Yeah, I didn't know Grayson, but it's very sad, and I'm sorry to his family and to his close friends. It's a very difficult time. You know, for me, I try to keep a good balance between golf and just regular life. I mean, life can be very hard. Golf can be very hard. So just trying to, you know, be grateful for all the opportunities that I've been given, and just trying to get a little bit better every day and try to tell the people around me that I'm grateful for all they've done, and I love them. And I think, yeah, just trying to be a little bit better. And like I said, life is hard, golf is hard, so you just gotta keep moving forward.
Keely, then Todd.
Hey, Brooke, just a question about the setup. What about a U.S. Open setup is different from every other week that you play?
Yeah, everything is just a little bit harder, I would say. The course is a little bit longer, the rough's a little bit longer, greens are quicker, more slope. So, just everything about it, you really got to pay attention and have a strategy. But then when that strategy doesn't work, then to be gritty and kind of grind it out. So, it's just a lot of fun. It's a great challenge, and I think if you go into the week knowing it's going to be tough, you kind of look forward to those moments when things aren't going well. You kind of try to rise to the challenge. And, just the atmosphere when you walk into a major championship or the U.S. Women's Open, it's different than every other week. It's a little bit more exciting, a little bit more adrenaline, and it's just really fun.
Can you think of a time at a U.S. Open where you had a certain strategy and you had to pivot?
Oh, for sure. Pretty much everyone. Yeah, it happens all the time.
Todd.
I mentioned it, just 9 years, and not a lot of players have returned in the field. For a golfer, I'm sure you've played so many other tournaments, you got to jog your memory about the course. For the people here and the organizers, it feels like you just left, right? And so when you think about your experiences away from the golf course, what are the first things that come to mind from the last time being here? And what are some of the things that you share maybe with your friends or other people on tour that have asked you about it because they haven't been here before?
Yeah, just first of all, how beautiful it is here, how hilly it is. It's a tough walk, but just the beauty of it. And I think it's such a cool surrounding area as well, sort of laid back, and I really like that. And just being able to think back about the memories from 9 years ago has been really fun, and how I played the course and how I'd like to play it a little bit better this time around. But yeah, just anytime you can gain from past experiences, I think that's really important moving forward. And I was really proud of my T5 finish, but that was also 9 years ago. So, I start fresh here on Thursday, so hopefully I'll get off to a fast start.
Beth Ann.
You mentioned New Jersey wasn't quite up to the standard that you wanted. Which part of your game was a little off?
Just sort of everything was slightly off, but I feel like those are the weeks where you really learn the most and you can really benefit the most, because once I have an off week, then I can work on a few things and come back, and not every week's going to be perfect, and I think that's really important to remember. And so weeks like New Jersey kind of put that in perspective, and hopefully I can just continue to grow and be a little bit more positive.
And then just one more. There isn't a player in the field over the age of 40. You obviously started out very young here. Do you have in your mind a timeline of how long you think you might be out here, and does 40 seem like it's possible for you?
40 seems like a really long way away. Yeah, that seems like too far, but I feel like you never know for sure. I'm just grateful to have the opportunity to play out here against the best in the world, and to be able to do it. I guess this is my 10th season technically, so it's been a while, and this is my 12th U.S. Women's Open, which is pretty cool. So I just trying to enjoy every opportunity that I've been given, and we'll see how far the game takes me.
Shane.
Have you, over the course of your career, given any thought to the kind of place that makes for a successful venue from a fan support angle? And I ask that because Lancaster, from everything I've heard, was amazing, and it's not the biggest town. It just seems like kind of in the middle of nowhere if you're not from here. No insult to Lancaster. But no, have you thought about that? Like, why is a place like Lancaster so good, right? Or have you kind of put together any thesis over your time out here?
Talking to a couple other players and stuff, I think, when a community can really wrap around the event, that's when we get the biggest crowds and the more support. So, for example, here in Lancaster, yeah, it's a little bit more laid back generally, and I think when a big event like this comes into town, a lot of people can gravitate to it. And for me, it's kind of close to the Canadian border too, so a lot of Canadian fans come down, which is cool for me. But I think maybe just when the community can really be involved, I feel like that's when we receive the biggest support.
Last one, Doug.
For those from Lancaster, that was Shane Ryan. Got his number if you need it.
Thank you.
Two quick things, Brooke, and sorry for the silliness here, but when did you go to glasses, and is there a story behind why?
Yeah, so I went to glasses last August.
Last August. Okay.
So I've always had trouble with my eyesight. I've never really been able to see the ball land or certain things since my start of my career. But I was a field player, and so I just really leaned into that feel. And then I would just ask my sister, you know, like, is that on the green or is it in the apron or where is it? So I was really dependent on her for a while. And then I decided to, you know, I wanted to be able to see where the ball was going, and I wanted to, you know, maybe have a little bit better feel around the greens, which I think the glasses really helped because I could see it a little bit clearer.
Did you have contacts before? Or?
No, I didn't. I mean, hopefully contacts in the next year or two, but for right now, just glasses.
They look fine, by the way. I didn't
Thank
need
you.
contacts. The other thing is, and I don't have your like record in front of me, but even if you haven't like won in a certain amount of time, you've always been there for most of your career, and yet there's a number of players that seem like they've just disappeared. Whether it was injury, whether it was something else. S.H. Park comes to mind. Aria right now. Yanni. How do you avoid that? How are you able to keep a level of decent consistency to keep going?
Well, thank you. I'm proud of the consistency that I've shown over the last 10 years, so I take that as a big compliment, so thank you. I feel like trying not to have too many highs or too many lows, trying to keep it pretty steady, stay positive. I mean, you never really know what's going to happen in life or in golf, so, you know, just trying to make the most of every situation that you have, and for me, just, yeah, trying to keep it even keel as best I can, not get too high, not too low.
Are you talking mechanics or between the years?
Between the years. Yeah. Mechanics, I've always been pretty simple, field player. My coach, my dad, my sister, my caddy, they always just work on really simple things. Never gets too technical or complicated.
Brooke, thanks for your time and good luck this week.
Awesome. Thank you.